Now, for some analysis on this, let's bring in Badr Al-Madi. He joins me live from Amman. He's a professor of political sociology at the German Jordanian University. Great to have you here with us on TRT World. See, if we look at the bigger picture, who is winning right now in terms of getting the most out of the current ceasefire deal?
Even it's so hard, but I can say that maybe Israel win militarily and lose a lot in political setting and political structure, whether internally and outside of Israel, whether in the Middle East or in the world. And I can claim also Hamas maybe win politically, but lose a lot of military and capacity and capability, where when we talk about the two main major actually parties of the war itself. But in the same times, if we want to talk about the international actors, we talk about United States of America really hugely returned back to the Middle East, and they are trying to present themselves through Donald Trump as a peacemaker here in the region, not anymore like the previous administration, or where a lot of criticism was delivered against United States of America because they just always side and aligned with Israel against any other people rights in the region.
And what do you make of JD Vance's presence in Israel right now and the fact that the American president appears to be concerned about the collapse of this deal?
Yeah, I think it is part from Donald Trump's strategy and the American administration strategy, where they want to keep actually this peace settled or to make this plan function in the Middle East and in Gaza. I think the American, they know that Netanyahu, he is seeking to have the collapse for the peace plan and for the deal of Donald Trump.
Professor, if I may, this is the point that I was trying to make earlier as well. Of course, when you look at JD Vance and Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, when they talk to the media, they would tell you that we are in Israel right now so that Hamas doesn't violate the ceasefire deal. But if that was actually the case, then they won't be in Israel. They would be traveling to Egypt. They would be traveling to Qatar. But the fact that they are in Israel goes to show that the Trump administration is concerned, very concerned, about Netanyahu violating the ceasefire deal.
Yes. Yes, that's true. And they are actually almost telling Netanyahu, we are supporting you, we are supporting Israel, but don't actually use us and abuse us in the same time. As you know, that United States of America reputation has been damaged through the presidency or ruling of Netanyahu for a long time. I think the American right now, they understand that Netanyahu can't continue with his game against the world, not just against United States of America. And if you remember, and the audience also remember, that Donald Trump told Netanyahu privately that you are isolated and we can't protect you anymore. But we know that United States of America can't leave Israel alone. But I think right now they are trying to push Netanyahu more and more to accept and to go with this deal and with this plan.
Now, Professor, let me ask you the big question here, perhaps a question which is on the mind of American public right now. For how much longer do you think Donald Trump can afford to tolerate Netanyahu? Because, see, if you look at the wider political spectrum of the United States, Israel is still very much a big part of the political discourse in the country. And it has been a part throughout Donald Trump's return to the White House. In fact, also throughout the election campaigns that we saw last year in U.S. presidential election. And I mean, if you are an American today, you must be wondering, when will this end? When will we stop talking about this?
First of all, we have to know that actually part of the Trump deal or map to end the violence or the war against the Palestinian people, it was the internal pressure, especially from the new generation in United States of America. Donald Trump actually evaluation and his administration that they face a lot of challenges internally, where they have to listen at least to what the people are saying and what the media are saying back in United States of America. Even the closest media men, people and women, they were turned the page against Donald Trump and his administration, where Donald Trump, he had no choices unless to be very involved and in the same time, to some degree, fair enough to end this war. So back in the United States of America, I think there's a lot of pressure internally. Yes, Donald Trump always claiming that he does not care because he's doing the right thing. But I think with in regard of Gaza war, I think Donald Trump, he has no choice unless to listen to his people.
Fascinating insights, Badr Al-Madi. Thanks very much for joining me here on TRT World. Really appreciate your taking out the time.